everybody, and welcome to Neurotic News again. It's good to be here. Thanks for listening and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to get straight into it. We've got some big things to cover. Hitler and Uber Eats. Breakups.
You were staying at an Airbnb, I understand. Recently.
Before we get stuck into that, I would like to quickly say two things. Dan and I will be at the Edinburgh Fringe, and I'm going to be at Pleasance. What's your one called?
Underbelly,
yeah. So you'll be able to Google that. And we have this limited release of Neurotic News merch, these shirts, and I'm wearing the black one today. You can see it there. There's less than 10 of these left if you want one. They're very good shirts, like thick, good shirts, don't you reckon, Rathy?
Sturdy enough to protect you.
If that interests you, they're you can see what they look like and all the details and all that stuff on my social media. There's loads of photos of them, and there's like a link in my Linktree thing, whatever, that you can look at that if you like. Also, I'm coming back to Melbourne to do an encore of my latest show that I did at the Melbourne Comedy Festival. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was...
just went down rapidly in my chair. So
Three Stooges.
Some physical comedy in here. So I'll be back on July 11th at the Arts Centre in Melbourne, July 11th. And so again, you can find a link to that. So that's a one-off show that I'm doing. And the show will have slightly changed and stuff. I am working on new stuff. So it is my latest stuff and a return season to Melbourne there for one night. Is there anything else, Rathy, the business bullshit?
No, I can't think of anything.
You can't think of anything. So as you were saying, yes, I was staying at Airbnb in Sydney on my last tour. And tell me what you think about this. You never know what you're going to get with an Airbnb, do you?
It's very ambiguous a lot of the time. Like, is the owner there? Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes it's like, we bring in fresh eggs. It's like, who's we?
Yeah,
do you find that?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's a bit of an ambiguous relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like, just come in if you need anything, and we'll be around if you need help. I'm like, how around?
How around?
Like, are there cameras?
Yeah. Are you filming me with that robo, the robo cleaner that
the vacuum
knocks you when you're taking a shit and they take photos of you and send it to your boss? Like, is that happening? I just need to know.
Why are they sending it to your boss?
Blackmail.
Boom.
Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, they got to get it.
I don't like that. Will be around if you need anything.
Yeah, that is a bit ambiguous.
A lot of them are guest houses and stuff. I've stayed in a lot of ones where, it'll be on a farm. You think it's just you. And then you wake up and there's a farmer in the kitchen, like putting macadamia nuts into a bowl. You know
what Airbnb experience is this where you're at a farm?
It was in Armadale.
It was in Armadale and you're in a farm, and you woke up in a farm and was putting macadamia nuts.
Yeah, and you're like, I didn't know the farmer was here. Would have been nice to know.
Yeah, well, I don't
need the nuts.
I had the opposite experience actually, weirdly, at a hotel where I turned up and the hotel was just disheveled. There was no one else staying there, and the dude who was running it, I guess he owned it, just left. And he was like, oh, there's stuff in the fridge if you want it. And it was just his house fridge. So it was like a proper hotel, but there was just no, like I think he was going through a divorce.
The hotel manager.
Yeah. And the place just like, like all the food, and he's like, just help yourself. And we just went into the kitchen and we were just getting food out, and yeah, we had the whole hotel with no staff. Like, it must have been about to shut down.
Sounds like a hotel in Belarus.
Mm-hmm.
One of those Soviet-era hotels?
Yeah, one of the ones you see in movies and shit. But I was staying in this Airbnb and talking about surprises. So I saw it on the pictures, which were, a cabin. And it's always a thing with the cabin. Because you're like, okay, where is the cabin? Because the cabin insinuates there's another building.
Yeah.
If you see what I'm saying.
It's like a babushka doll. Like there's a dad cabin.
It's old mate's work shed and that's the other thing, they're converting stuff.
Yeah.
Like, is the cabin just an old shed, and like, is it somewhere it's kind of weird to live in, kind of thing? Like, there's a fucking mower in there and shit. You know what I mean? Like, you never fully.
Because they're weaponizing unused space because of the cost of living crisis.
Right.
So they're turning like a disabandoned portaloo into like a sleep coffin. You know what I mean? It's like a portaloo, but they put it horizontal.
Seems very Japanese, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This sleep cabin is also a portaloo when it goes vertical.
Yeah.
Like, oh, how convenient.
Yeah. I'm turning Japanese off.
So anyway, this was a cabin out the back of this guy's place, and the catch was when I arrived was that the cabin was just in their backyard. So there was a full family and their full glass family home and dining table, and I was just walking through their kids' playground, and they could just openly see me hoveling, like limping with a Uber Eats, just pathetic and so on, be masturbating, just like hell.
Tore a hamstring from masturbating too much, and you're hobbling like a hunchback.
You've got a limp from masturbation cramp.
Like that with the bag?
Yeah, you've got
like it's a lantern?
Pornhub on hold.
Yeah.
And you're hovering through, and then, some kid like look over from the family dinner table and just see a strange man walk through their backyard. That was the experience. Every time I went in and out, it was like I was in a zoo.
Yeah.
And I was like their animal or whatever, because they just had to see me. There's no way they couldn't see me.
It does sound like an enclosure.
It felt like an enclosure because it was walled off and everything. It was
like
inside.
They're at Taronga Zoo and they're looking through the glass like aquarium of their wall at you. That's right.
Yep. And I was the animal.
Yeah.
And it was, you don't see that at Hilton.
And he's like, yeah, exactly.
Do you? Where you just like come out of your room and the owner of the Hilton is there in a glass cabinet eating like a luxurious dinner, and they all kind of look sideways at you like, oh my God, this guy's pathetic.
Yeah. It's not like you're at the Hilton and you go in and the CEO's taking a shit and you can't get into the bathroom.
Yeah, you're
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, excuse me, mate. Like, can I get in there? It's like, sorry, it's being used.
You just got to use it because it's part of the facility that I own.
You're the CEO, right? Yeah. Well, don't flush. I might be able to use your shit for a microbiome transplant.
Yeah. Look, I need it.
A microbiome transplant.
Yeah.
You hear about this?
Yeah, the shit transplant.
Yeah, you put shit up your ass and of someone else's, and it changes your whole personality.
Up until recently, you could sue someone for that. Taking a shit on your chest, but now they're helping you.
That's really good for you. Yeah. I mean, there's a big difference between Airbnb, which is like, like very, like a 5-star hotel, you're very much left alone. But 3-star cheaper, but you got to set boundaries.
Yeah, I was staying at a 3-star hotel, and I just had to tell them, look, can you not renovate while I'm staying as a guest?
Yeah.
Because they tried to renovate the bathroom. Like I got knocked, like woken up. There's like 4 dudes in high vis. They're like, we're here to renovate the bathroom for the day.
Right.
And I was like, let me just see what's going on down at reception because this can't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that they do take liberties at a 3-star hotel. You'll wake up and they'll be vacuuming or painting your door or something.
They just walk in.
Yeah. G'day, mate.
Yeah.
It's like, can I help you, man?
Yeah.
And then you're like, you can't come in. It was like, whoa, okay. Like, I didn't think this was like a big deal just because I need to use your toilet.
Yeah, it's like prison. Like, you've got to make sure you've got good posture in the lobby.
Yeah.
So they know that you're not weak.
Right, yeah, so you don't get bullied.
Yeah, by the reception.
Yeah. Like getting charged extra shit. Like they try and charge you for towels and stuff. You're like, what?
Like a 5-star hotel, there's ones where they curate. They even like study your LinkedIn profile before you come.
Right.
They're like, oh, he loves, smoothies, so they'll have a smoothie ready. You know those ones?
Yeah, the really luxurious ones.
They like do a deep dive on your algorithm and shit. This is the level they go to. Like they'll find out you're left-handed and then they'll seat you on the edge of the table so you don't bump elbows with someone next to you.
Jesus Christ, that's the highest level I've ever heard.
And then I stay there, I go in, there's just a poster of Jar Jar Binks and the world's smallest fleshlight. Like they've
Sorry,
done.
this is the 5-star hotel
Yeah.
prediction based on your
Yeah.
like they've done a deep dive onto
Yeah.
who you are, this client, this comedian, Dan Rath. Let's
Yeah,
make sure
yeah.
we provide him with everything he wants. And it's a picture of Jar Jar Binks and the world's smallest flashlight.
They're like, look, we studied deep.
Right. And this is what we think would best suit
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
And then you thank them.
Well, you don't
You're
want
like,
that.
thanks for the thorough detail.
You don't want the, that's the thing about the algorithm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the when you visit an Airbnb or whatever, and the owners, the owners YouTube or whatever accounts logged in, and you see their history.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just all like how to repair a motorbike. Like you had one at yours.
Yeah, I was on his account was logged in.
Mm-hmm.
So you could just see who he was as a person, and he would you could see it actually move in live time, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Because he was back home in Adelaide or wherever he came from, but I was on the coast just seeing his mind. So it'd be like how to change oil on a motorcycle, how to stop drinking, how to fix a car. Like it'd go between mechanical repair and how to stop drinking. So I know more about him than his wife probably.
That's scary, eh?
It's
so
terrifying.
fucking funny, yeah. Yeah, well, I want to stop drinking myself to death, but this carburetor.
Yeah, strangely, it's not a huge lateral move.
Yeah. It does seem to actually marry up.
Something about needing to change a car battery and drinking yourself to death ties in.
You know what? Like, because my family's in motorsport. Have you ever watched Bathurst?
No.
Have you ever seen the V8 supercars just on ads or anything?
No.
Well, what do you reckon the major sponsors are? I'll give you a clue. Yeah, BWS, Jack Daniels, Jim Beam. It's all alcohol. It's like, have a fucking drink. Brum, brum. I don't know what the association is there between like just drink yourself to death and rum, rum cars.
Yeah.
It's like it is a bit strange if you think about it because cars are actually very technical.
Yeah.
And require precision.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? Like I guess drinking yourself to death, you more think rugby league.
Yeah.
Because that's like running into cunts and punching cunt, fucking tackle them. But, brum, brum, cars, fast, yeah. Don't quite.
It kind of disqualifies you from driving.
Yeah, well, the F1 cars are sponsored by like Citrix and Oracle, the database company, and AI and like crazy software.
Which one's that?
The F Formula One.
That's the bourgeois one,
yeah.
right? It's like Rugby Union is sponsored by like Ernst & Young or whatever.
Yeah.
Because most of the players are hedge fund managers with big necks. Like most rugby union players in like the national level are like in boardroom meetings discussing NASDAQ shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Johnny Hills probably runs like a stockbroking firm.
It's weird to think that if you do him wrong, he could tackle you in the hallway of an executive suite, eh?
Yeah.
Just be like, fucking boss. Like he's got that element as well.
Yeah.
Which is kind of scary.
They don't have as much of the early onset dementia, the union players.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't think it's quite as violent as rugby league, in my opinion.
Maybe they go in with such high IQs
that when they are lowered,
you don't notice it as much.
Yeah. I remember a girl telling me, she's like, I was dating this dude and he was big into soccer and he was getting dumber because of the constant heading of balls.
Yeah.
She could actually notice him getting dumber. I don't know why that's funny.
When someone else notices, it's a problem.
Yeah. For real. Where was it? So talking about travel and Airbnbs and stuff. So you stayed in Perth. That's the last kind of trip you did, hey, Perth?
Yeah, Perth is interesting because, like, when you'll see like a mural in Melbourne or something, it'll be like very political,
right?
To be like you won't understand it.
Yeah, like I've seen like murals in Perth, in Melbourne that are like a woman carrying a house on her back, and it's like, what does that mean? Is it
like a speech bubble?
like,
coming out with like NDIS funding must not be.
Yeah, do not cut funding, and there's like a puppeteer hand.
Yeah,
and there's strings on a politician. You're like, oh, I get it. They're being puppeteered,
but you still don't get it. You're like, is that Putin or is it?
Yeah. It's like really political, deep. philosophical, artistic.
Cryptic speech bubbles about cutting funding for social services.
If you know enough, you get it, and you're like, oh, and you think about it days later. But what's Perth? What ones did you see in Perth?
Perth, I just saw a mural. It was just a scene from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Like there'll just be like a mural. It'll just be,
Iron Man.
Yeah. Like a Marvel character.
Yeah. It's just like Iron Man. And there's no, like in Melbourne, that'd be Iron Man, more like Anthony Albanese on his way to the corporate meeting. You know what I mean? There'd be some.
He's on his way to the G20.
Yeah. With his military industrial money.
Yeah.
Whereas
Peter
Perth,
Dutton would be, Captain Marvel or whatever.
Perth is just, here's a shit. Like it's just a mural of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like here's a shit.
This is a turd.
It's not, it's Tony Abbott, is it? Nah.
No.
Just a shit.
Does that represent like anything? It's like, nah, it's just a shit I did and then I painted it. That's the level of consciousness politically. Do you know what? There's been no one's taken the red pill in Perth or any kind of pill. Probably because the water is not great as well.
The water isn't great in Perth.
It's hard to swallow pills when the water tastes that bad.
I did a gig once at, is it called Cloncurry? Fuck, I don't know. It was like in the middle of nowhere. It was a really strange gig.
Yeah.
And the water stinks, which puts you off. It's bore water, so it comes out with stinking gas.
I feel like the water in Perth.
I didn't drink it. They're like, no, it's fine to drink. So imagine living in a town where you turn on the tap and the tap farts.
Yeah, that's really what's happening.
No, it is.
You can taste it in the smoothies.
The earth is farting, man. The earth is farting.
It's farting out of a Rio Tinto depository in the Pilbara mines. And then that water's coming into the CBD. Do you know what I mean? So it's miners just drilling into fucking shit pipes. And then water's just spurting into the mouths of the denizens of Perth.
Yeah, who are coming to my show.
And no wonder they're pissed off.
Yeah, like we just had a fart smoothie. Now I got to listen to this bloke talk about non-binary bullshit. Bloody queer, bloody inner city, bloody bullshit.
I was in Northbridge on a Saturday night, and I saw like riot police. Like, when the van actually has riot written on it?
Yeah,
Have you seen
wow,
that?
no.
It's next level. So I was like, fuck, the Palestinian rallies have probably made it, like it's such a big thing, it's made its way all the way to WA, and it turns out they were just subduing a meth head with like shit, but they had the shields and everything. So I was like, this must be...
This must be a good batch.
When they've got the SWAT team?
Yeah.
That's usually because a protest has gone out of control. Do you know what I mean? It's an anti-vaxxers coward punch someone, and there's like a threat of terrorism.
Right. But when it's really good meth.
But when it's just a meth head headbutting an ATM or whatever. And they've got this, do you know what I mean? That energy of like, go.
Yeah, they got to contain him. Yeah, that's good ice. That's when there's a good batch.
Yeah.
In
The ice is great, the water
And
sucks.
were you there for the Perth Comedy Festival? No, you were just doing clubs.
Just there.
Because the funniest show I saw, because like I like to check out posters of shows during festivals. This was my favorite. It was a dude, it was called Glass Half Fool. And it was a dude, and he was half in a glass of beer. That was the poster. It's like a big fat bloke, and he's like kind of going, and he's in half a glass of beer, and then, so glass half full, not full, and then it said, warning, may contain traces of nuts. And then another thing, like with a big stamp, like a warning sign, was like, no non-PC humor. And I had to go see. And it was about what you'd expect.
Yeah.
And he ended the show with, the finale was he played a video on his phone where he'd filmed a guy getting a blowjob in a car park. And he was like, can't fucking believe it. This fucking was all. That was the end of the show. So
he just plays it on his phone.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have a projector so that everyone can see it.
He just had a phone.
That's insane.
Check this out. And it's just a dude, like one of his mates probably.
In a car park.
In a car park. receiving sexual services, some might say. It's very meth head behaviour.
Yeah.
Which reminds me weirdly, I know this is a crazy segue, but Taiwan.
Yeah, the drills.
Yeah, because you know what I'm going to say, hey? Because I like this headline. China punishes Taiwan by running military drills where they run imaginary bombing over the island. They run attack drills. They do everything but actually shoot.
Yeah,
and that's their punishment. So they're like, which is very meth head. Because it's like when a meth head goes, I fucking hit you like the fucking, but they don't do anything. They go fucking like
it's because they just skirt around the perimeter, right?
Yeah,
in the South China Sea.
Yeah,
just like intimidatingly flying these like fighter jets that make those loud hypersonic noises, and then but they do it like it's like technically legal. Like if a meth head just went around the perimeter of your house, just doing this, like this is your fucking head.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is what I'm going to do to you if I get a chance. And
I'll fucking hit you like that. You know when they get you in the pub though and they're like, fucking hit you like that. I'm like, I'll fucking come over you like that. Maybe I'll go uppercut you fucking.
It reminds me of Taiwan.
Yeah, that's what China's doing. I'll fucking bomb you like this, cunt.
Yeah.
Then I'll fucking fly over there. I'll fucking helicopter there.
Just practicing, cunt. Just practicing.
Yeah, no, I'm just fucking warming up.
Yeah.
And your mate's like, you know, you go, fuck, call the cops. It's like, he's not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
That's the United Nations. He's fucking technically not doing anything, cunt.
He's just stretching.
Yeah, he's just fucking, he's allowed to fucking shadow box. Oh, fucking up here like that, you know, another jet comes past or whatever.
It's funny that it's just rehearsal. It's like when a play does a rehearsal.
If there was World War III, it'd, you know, we'd like to, you know, practice.
Yeah.
And go like this.
I feel like because corporate executives love having like a struggle now, they could scuba dive under the military drills in the South China Sea.
Right.
Just as the fighter pilots go over them. Like, whoa, fuck.
Yeah, they'd be like, whoa, what if they bomb? And it's like, whoa.
They could.
And they're like, keep your cortisol down, Trevor. Come on, Tony. Let's go, guys. This is the test. You know, they like doing SAS drills and they're just in the South China Sea. I wouldn't want to swim in the South China Sea.
Not when they're doing the military drills over my head.
Well, it just seems, you know, you didn't want China to think is that a British spy.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. What were you saying about your? I like this. I like this idea you've got for Malay's airline.
Oh yeah. Well, because like you know, just there's Malaysia Airline.
Well, there's Malaysia Airline,
which has famously had a few problems. And then, but I was just thinking, because what about Malay's Airlines, where it's just for people who don't care if the plane lands?
Right, they're just into Malays.
Yeah.
They don't board, they board no security.
Yeah.
They sort of get there, it doesn't take off on time.
If the door comes off, they're just going to be chilled about it.
Yeah, just relaxed.
They're just kind of, they're not suicidal, but they're not loving life.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, Malay's Airlines. I think the listeners would like that.
Yeah.
I think you guys enjoyed that.
It could be an interesting startup idea.
Do
you, when you've never done it.
When you tour, like, because this is always an interesting thing, but do you Uber Eat a lot, or do you try and save the cash?
I think I would definitely just Uber Eats.
Like, you would Uber Eats?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about what you're saying about Salman Rushdie.
Oh, yeah, with the fatwa.
Yeah, Salman Rushdie's got a fatwa out on him.
Yeah.
People must be so confused by this episode.
Well, yeah, Salman Rushdie has a fatwa.
This is related to Uber Eats.
Yeah. This will be somehow related. But yeah, Salman Rushdie, because someone gouged his eye out as well. So he's got like a pirate thing now.
Yeah.
So he's getting the pirate vibe and the fatwa thing going.
So it could be attractive.
Yeah,
to like women that like a rebel,
especially if
you're a pirate with a fatwa out in the Nation of Islam's looking to murder you constantly.
Yeah,
it's kind of hot.
Well, that's what I was thinking with Salman Rushdie. If he's got the fatwa on him, would he get Uber Eats? Because you know it could be triggering to get a text saying Muhammad is approaching. You know when you get those texts like Muhammad is 5 minutes away, Muhammad is outside, like you're getting up to the minute updates on Muhammad's movements.
Well, if the Prophet Muhammad is going to strike you down for being blasphemous. Fucking oath, it'd be terrifying to see him on a moped spinning around nearby, hypothetically.
Yeah.
You know?
And then, you know, you wonder.
Like if you blasphemed and you saw like Jesus is 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. If the Pope put like a death warrant out on you.
Yeah.
And you ordered an enchilada and Jesus was delivering it.
Yeah.
But of course it would be spelled Jesus. You wouldn't get the H because it would be written down.
Right.
So you just see Jesus is coming.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd be hoping it was good.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like there would be, if you'd just been cursed or you'd been, you know, you feel like you've been sinning, you see Jesus is 3 minutes away, Jesus is at your door.
You'd ask for a no contact delivery. I think. Just to minimise the chance
that they strike you down.
An impromptu sword attack.
I wonder if Jesus came back if you do Uber Eats deliveries.
It's the right thing to do.
It's the selfless thing to do.
Yeah, to deliver.
You know what it reminds me of is a bit we used to talk about ages ago about how in the Daily Telegraph there was that article that Muhammad Arab.
Yeah.
There was a dude called Muhammad Arab who punched a paramedic.
Yeah.
Which was just so funny because for Daily Telegraph journalists or Murdoch press, it's like just a jackpot because it's Muhammad Arab, so it's like the religion and the race.
Yeah.
It's like Jesus Christian.
It's like an AI that's programmed to maximize antagonizing like news
but
core
right-wing
readers.
Conservative. Yeah. They would have been screaming with glee in the office. Holy fuck, it's fucking Muhammad Arab. Oh. Muhammad Arab. His name's Muhammad Arab. This is fucking great.
The word economy.
Yeah.
Because each word.
Because they want an anti-Islamic thing, but they can't just say something they can't say, oh, this guy's Islamic.
Yeah.
But you go Muhammad Arab, it's like, yep, he was an Arab and he was Islamic.
Yeah.
So he punched a paramedic. So you see what I mean? Like they're like, I'm not doing nothing wrong. That's his fucking name. It's his fucking name. Like they're crazy about it.
It's like a gift.
Yeah. It's like a rare Pokemon.
And bashing paramedics is just, people hate that.
Yeah, hate that. The next best one is Muhammad Arab caught as a pedophile.
Yeah.
That's the next best.
Then you're getting like all of it.
You get all of it in one big go. Anyway, I feel like, I mean, I try to not be too much on my phone.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thing. But you know what I was thinking about today that I wanted to talk to you about is just how, I mean, do you get stuck in that? I just think the algorithm is getting fucking like good now. You know what I mean? It's like it's a different level.
Yeah.
Like I feel like when TikTok and all that started, it was like, yeah, this is addictive. But it has gotten, like it knows me. Like I find it really difficult to look away now. Like I don't have any of the apps installed, but I've got YouTube installed and now it has a TikTok thing, you know, the shorts where it's just like video.
Everything's been TikTok-ized. Like even if you go, I don't have any of these apps and I'm doing it like raw dogging all of it, you still, they find a way.
They find a way to get you hooked.
Because you think, oh, I'm just on YouTube, I'm not on it. But then because it gets TikTokified, everything goes to that maximum optimization.
Yeah, and it's gotten smarter. And they've worked it out and they've had all these millions of dollars and scientists looking at it, trying to work out how to do it. It's funny because I studied IT years ago.
Yeah.
Before all this, obviously before like apps and fucking social media and all that shit.
Yeah.
And algorithm was a word that only a computer scientist knew.
Yeah.
But the other day I heard a tradie go, the fucking algo hates me.
Yeah.
You know, the algo hates me. Posting videos of me plumbing. Algo hates me.
Once the algo's been...
That's crazy to think that word is now just...
A colloquialism?
Yeah. It's crazy. And it's like bogans, like tradies, bogans, just everyday people everywhere now just have that lingo.
Yeah.
Like the guy at the bar who might push you and shove you and punch you in the fucking head. Now, as he does it, because he listens to Rogan and they understand brain chemistry and they go to the gym and they understand nutrition, they're like, I'm fucking punching you in your frontal cortex there, cunts, fucking making you, all giving you concussion. That's a slight bruising of the brain. That's going to lower your ability to generate serotonin. You know what I mean? Like it's precise now.
Yeah, there's a precision to the lexicon. And it's like, I feel like it's gone to the point where just everyone knows about all the mental illnesses.
Yeah.
Like ADHD, it's like the only mental illness where they try to recruit you. To it.
Yeah.
They're like, there is ADHD, the people with it, it's almost like a religion.
Yeah.
Like Jehovah's Witness, like they're almost door knocking going, hey, do you have problems focusing?
Yeah, it's weird. It's the only one they try to recruit you. I've had that before too.
Yeah.
Someone with ADHD would go, look, man, you forgot that? Yeah, you've got ADHD, bro.
Yeah.
Get tested. Like they really want you to be
it's
a
like
part
a
of it.
Ponzi scheme or something.
Yeah, like
you know what I mean?
you say, like a Jehovah's Witness, instead of going, have you heard of Christ? It's like, have you considered that you can't focus and you're impulsive?
Have you considered the fact that you're drinking Red Bull is the fact that you're actually medicating, but you can't admit it and you should actually be on Adderall? And it's almost like they're in a Ponzi scheme where if they recruit you, they get a cut of Adderall sales.
Yeah.
Like there's something you don't know about. They meet up and they're like, okay, yeah, I recruited like 10 other confused people who have TikTok brain.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess everyone's brains are kind of fried now. And I think like the algorithm thing, because of our AI, like my algorithm's just like World War II, something crazy interesting about World War II. Like here's footage of Hitler having an argument with Mussolini on this day and just some shit you'd never see. You're like, where the fuck did they get this from? And then I love rugby league and it's like, here's the best pass of the year. Then you flick next and this is the greatest soccer goal of all time. Then you flick next and it's like, here's a really catchy song that everyone's listening to and you're like, oh, I want to hear that. And then it's like, here's a woman dancing. Here's another World War II thing. Here's a bomb dropping. And it's just like fucking boom, boom. It's just this weird combination. And the other one is like a lot of stuff pops up of people catching snakes in Florida.
Yeah.
Because there's like a Burmese python problem. So I just get like, and it just hits you with the right amount, the right time. And like I'll wake up 2 hours later just like, where am I?
You'll be like, Eichmann once strangled a python.
Yeah.
Like they'll mix it.
Well, the thing is
in
with
Argentina.
AI, like, because you know AI now, they're releasing Hitler's speeches in English because AI just took him and just redid his speeches in English with his tone and anger and everything.
Yeah.
And it's not as bad in English.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's more aggressive in German.
I feel like it's weird if you were German because it would have already been in English for
Yeah.
you. Do you know what I mean? Growing
yeah.
up German, you'd be like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? It'd be like if Hitler was Australian.
Yeah.
It'd be so much weirder, don't you reckon? If he's like, and we're going to fucking get these fucking dogs.
They fucking betrayed us, the dogs, and we're going to get Europe.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd be like, like a German must just hear Hitler's speech as it's not, like to us, it's a foreign, like, schlappt in der Wand and like, it's all, do you know what I mean? It's some weird alien gibberish from this like mythic, crazy, like almost fictional character.
Yeah. You don't, I mean, I've never really understood what he said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But if he was from Bean Lee,
yeah,
you'd be like, fuck.
Fucking Poland,
I've been around
fuck
there.
the English.
Yeah.
And the fucking Jews. I want to get those cunts.
It's weird in the future if Putin starts World War III, Putin's actually been to Brisbane.
Right.
Like, wouldn't it be crazy if Hitler had come to Brisbane for like a G20 meeting in the 30s?
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, Hitler was in Toowong.
He was here. He was in Toowong.
Like he was on the boardwalk.
The craziest thing
with
like when you
Gough
think
Whitlam.
it's weird. When you think
a baby.
Strange. When you think of like the algorithm, like, you know how entertaining it is?
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's like, but the next step is AI will generate videos that aren't real, but they're a culmination of everything you want to watch.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there'll be a future where you'll be able to go, what would Hitler think about the Broncos winning the grand final? And he's like, I think the Broncos did not deserve to win. They are traitors. And
You'll be able to add a prompt as directed by Christopher Nolan.
yeah.
And then it'll be like, dun, dun, with a Hans Zimmer soundtrack.
Yeah.
And it'll be Hitler just talking about the Broncos, and then the Broncos going, what?
Yeah. Hitler hates us, like a weird drama about the Hitler watching a football team and Hitler coaching a football team. You are not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
And they all do the Zig Heil and then they go out and play.
Movies will be like dreams, but they'll be waking dreams where you're awake and you just direct them a bit more.
Yeah. It's true though, because AI will be able to generate script, video,
like Hitler
sound.
as Wayne Bennett.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, because in dreams and stuff, you'll have shit like that. Like, you'll have Hitler in your dream, but he'll have Wayne Bennett's face.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I
dreams
do.
are weird like that.
That's a great point. It's actually a beautiful insight
Yeah.
that you made there.
Like, yeah, Christopher Nolan will look like your uncle.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, because
You're
your
like,
brain...
that's my uncle, but fucking he's Christopher Nolan. I guess he always has been. Like, that's dream logic. It's fucking, I hate it.
Yeah, no, you do?
Oh, yeah, I'm just
I love dreams.
fuck that David Lynch shit. Dreams are like David Lynch films.
They are, eh? Yeah, which makes a lot of sense.
Upsetting, but strangely captivating.
Except that one about June. But did you ever see that?
No.
Oh, it was a really bad film. But it's fascinating what you're saying. And it's so true because I guess when you dream, I guess your brain is taking a variety of feeling, it's like defragmenting your brain. It's like, here's a variety of feelings, memories, visions, ideas, and things you've been mulling over, and we'll put it all together.
Yeah.
So you watch Batman, but you were thinking about your ex-girlfriend, and then your dad was angry at you, and so Batman's your dad, and the girlfriend's like walks out of the cinema, but the cinema's, And so with AI, as you rightly say, you'll be able to just make your fantasy, weird dream, hodgepodge shit like Dan Rath in Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Which I would watch
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, the mission is to just not put a butter knife in a toaster for a day.
Oh, fuck. I can't think of a better place to wrap this one up.
But I was thinking that if I ever strapped a GoPro to my head and just filmed my life and released the footage, it would look like a game show where the challenge was to live your life as inefficiently as possible.
Right. It would seem strange in that regard.
It'd be like, you don't go to Woolworths 8 times in a day. Like, that's unnecessary. You don't have to go for each ingredient separately.
I know
like
what
you can
mean.
bulk buy. Like, you know what
you mean. You never commit to a full shop.
Yeah, you go.
It's just like
parts.
it's like they have body cam.
Yeah.
But you follow someone, a dog. Sometimes they put them on dogs, and you see their day. Your day is just a man wandering around, unsure, confused.
Yeah.
Does everything the wrong way, takes longer, then goes back.
Go home, gets a flight back from Adelaide to check they left the heater on and it was off.
Yeah.
But they could have just asked the neighbour. Cancel to run a gig.
It's just the worst show or streaming of anything ever.
Oh.
Like, it's not artistic like Andy Warhol or whatever, filming his room for fucking 5 hours. There's no statement. It's just utterly boring.
Yeah. It's just...
Then you're like, what if Dan Rath is Hitler? And, then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you'll be able to generate an AI.
That's kind of like what you were saying about that thing that it's like pleasure stimulation at our all-time maximum.
Mm-hmm.
When you're just generating movies that hit a nerve with you all the time, then why would you go and see a movie that was actually good?
Yeah, because the hedonistic adaptation, you'd just be so used to immense pleasure stimulation of everything you could visualize and ever come up with coming to you in front of you all the time. You would get sick of it.
It's like that movie Civil War. I loved it so much because it was like I'd like, fuck, if I had ever... This is the perfect movie if I could ever be good enough to make something like this. You know what I mean? Because it's so in my interests.
Right. I see what you mean, that it totally fulfilled But if you're in a world where you could have that every time at the click of a fingers, everything you want.
Yeah, you wouldn't watch those more difficult films like The Lobster.
Because they're uncomfortable.
Well, like a movie like The Lobster, I think is a good film, but it's not as much like pleasure stimulation. There's like metaphors and stuff that requires you to
slow
think.
And makes you uncomfortable, and it's like
eating vegetables.
Right. It's like eating steamed broccoli versus a cheeseburger that was quickly brought to you.
Yeah.
Which is like the Marvel movie versus like that one about the Auschwitz, the latest one.
Yeah.
Zone of Interest or whatever.
Yeah.
Whew. I'm glad we covered that. Anyway, thanks so much for listening, guys. I think we made some really good points today, and we covered them well. And I think we all learned a lot. Thanks so much for listening.